Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy James D. Anderson coming to you with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons of why you probably should fire your tax preparer.
You're fired.
Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not coming at anybody sideways, but we have to make sure that we address these things here because they're very important. So, number one reason why you should fire your tax preparer: if they do not run their tax preparation business like a business or have any other businesses, you probably want to look at maybe finding somebody else. And the reason why I say that is because we are now moving into what's called the U economy, the me economy, the gig economy. Basically, people are having to do a whole bunch of things on the side in order to keep up with their lifestyle, just to keep up with just everyday living. So people are driving Lyft, people are driving Uber, people are doing a lot of tremendous things that are kind of making the tax situation a little bit more complicated than just having your W-2, right? So when you're going into individuals and you have 1099s and investment accounts and brokerage accounts and all these things that we're taught to do because we're taught that we have to do more with our money, you might have a person, if they're just kind of, if they don't really run a business, they have no idea what you're talking about. So they have no idea of the Schedule C. They have no idea of ways that you can maximize your tax deductions. They don't even know how to decipher it because themselves, they're just kind of moonlighting, kind of doing it. They're not actually running it as a business. So that's one thing to look for, especially if you're a home-based business owner. I mean, there's more people that's going into the gig economy more than ever now, and it's vitally important because you're liable, you're liable for taxes if you earn income, but you also qualify for hundreds and hundreds of tax deductions as far as being a business owner. And if you're dealing with a person that's not a business owner, they're not going to take importance to it because they're not going to understand, or they're just ignorant. Not ignorant is bad sense, but they just, they just don't know. I wonder if I said that correctly. Oh well, yeah, I get it. So number 2 reason why you might want to look at getting rid of your tax preparer is that they charge percentages and not flat service fees. And this is one thing that I find just mind-boggling because there's actually tax preparers and different businesses out here that charge you a percentage of what your possible tax refund will be. So instead of just saying, okay, if you're a business owner or if you're a single filer, or if you're a married filer, it's this particular amount. They say, well, if you get this tax refund, it's because of us, so we're going to charge you 10, 15, 20% of what your refund is because we're going to maximize your refund. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's legally by law, a tax preparer can't do anything more than what you bring to them. Now, they might be able to ping you for some questions that maybe you have forgot, but it's really, if I'm getting a tax refund, is based upon me not knowing that I gave the government too much money throughout the year. So therefore, that's why it's called a tax refund. Now, what a person has to understand is that if this was the case, I was going to get the tax refund regardless. It was going to be the same line on the 1040. So if it's a difference of me being not smart enough and me not understanding money and me giving my money away, and it's a difference between $4,000 to $6,000, then why should you get a higher percentage based upon that? Because I was going to get that refund anyway. So you have some people out there that's doing some shady things like that. Look for people that's charging flat fees for their services. Now, they might have add-ons, okay? They might have, audit assistance. They might have business preparation fees that they have, business tax preparation fees. All that's okay, that's business. They're providing a service. But I'm speaking particularly to a percentage charged on the refund. So I always ask the questions to the individuals. Well, I'm pretty good with my money. I break even just about every single year. So if you guys prepared my taxes and my refund was 0, what's the percentage? They never want to answer that question. So it's always crickets, right? But here's the thing. I want to make sure that we understand this, and this is a key point. If you're out there getting what's called a refund advance, there's going to be some service fees attached to that because that is an advance. That is money given to you up front before you get your money back. But if you have a tax refund and you're going through the regular process, then why do we have to base percentages off of there? So that's one thing to think about. All right, number 3 that you need to understand and that you might want to fire your tax preparer on this is that if you're a person that typically gets a large refund, I mean, you're getting thousands of dollars back every single year, and your tax preparer doesn't mention or doesn't want you to change your W-4 form so you can get more money back and not stop giving the government so much money, so much overage of money, so much surplus of money, then you might want to get rid of them. So the W-4 form is what you dictate. You know, you write down what your taxable allowances are so the government can withhold the correct amount. And if you're constantly getting a refund, or if you're constantly owe, if you're on either side of the spectrum, your tax preparer should come to you and say, hey, you know, I think we need to make some changes here for next year to make your life a little bit easier, and let's go ahead and walk through the form. Keep up the slow music. Tax preparers, it's your boy James D. Anderson. Look, I know that individuals get really excited for having a refund. Listen, I know that you're trying to pound out as many tax returns as possible to make your money within a tax period. I mean, I know it's a cyclical window, but please, this is a plea, but please, for somebody who's trying to make people great with their money, please help people adjust their W-4, because what other better time to do it than when they've just done their taxes? I mean, you literally have the best estimates of what they have going on financially right then and there to get the most accurate W-4. So we're begging, we're pleading for those people to help people in personal finance. Tax preparers, if you're doing people's taxes, please help them adjust their W-4. We're asking, we're hoping that you do the right thing. All right, I'm reloaded. Number four reason of why you probably want to look at firing your tax preparer is if they're still using snail mail. If they're still using snail mail to actually, you know, send off the tax returns. I mean, come on now, 2018, like really, we're still using snail mail. Now I get it that you might have some people that's filing late returns and you have to send it in because the portal's not open for 2012. I get it. But listen, we're following 2017 to 2018. Come on now, let's get out the snail mail, okay? Let's get out the snail mail. And one important point that I'm going to give you guys right here is that after you have your tax preparer, after they finish your taxes, they should also really give you a full package of everything that they did as a record for you so you can file it away. And of course, you know, you're going to need that for any type of financial things that you're going to be doing in your life. But really, the snail mail, the long way, like, we got apps for that, right? Very simple. 2018. Let's take it to the next level. So, number 5, the final one here of why you should be firing your tax preparer is simply this, okay? If they tell you you can't do something and they have no information to back up. I mean, I can't express how many times individuals have called me, have texted me, have hit me on Facebook and said, you know, I went in, James, you know, the tax preparer said I can't do this. I actually had a young lady that I was talking to that her tax preparer told her that she could not hire her children for her business and get a tax deduction. I mean, it's literally in the I.R.S. publication. I mean, it's literally right there word for word that say family employees. So a lot of times we have individuals that they think because they're a tax preparer that they know all the tax laws. Listen, the tax laws there's so much out there. You have to really be educated in it. So if don't matter if you're a business owner or if you're doing personal things that you're qualified for, that you're entitled to, you might have some tax preparers that's kind of reluctant in letting you take those tax deductions. But here's the thing. This is the most important part. You know, tax preparation really happens all throughout the year. You just so happen to do the paperwork in the beginning of the year. See, tax preparation, January, I was about to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What is that? Where am I at today? But, you know, you start off in January, you end in December for the prior year. You just happen to file it in the next year. So we have to understand that. You know, I had individuals that hit me up that said they went into one of the large chain tax preparation offices. I'm not going to slander anybody, but they went in. They had a business income. They had business deductions. They wanted to file a Schedule C, and the person just straight up told them, "Well, you can't do that. You don't have a corporation." I'm like, "What? Like, what happened to sole proprietorship? What happened to, you know, working for yourself? What happened to being a freelancer? Like, I gotta have an S corp because I want to write off my cell phone bill because I make phone calls to my clients. Come on, let's be real now. So you have different tax preparation people out there that have no idea. They just don't give you any back because they don't give you any reason why. You know, if you give me a reason why and it makes sense, then it might be valid. But they just say you can't do this. That's ridiculous. All right, guys. So I gotta hit you with a bonus, right? So here comes the bonus. If your tax preparation person is terrified of the IRS, get rid of them, all right? I know that's harsh, but you got to get rid of them if they terrified of the IRS. Listen, the IRS is an accounting agency. They, you know, it's the Internal Revenue Service. They are collecting the taxes, doing the paperwork, doing different things like that. Listen, if you're terrified of the IRS and you're a tax preparer, you're never going to have the interest of the client within your mind. You're always going to have the interest of the IRS. It's funny that interest, IRS, tax-free loans, interest. Y'all get where I'm going with it. But if your actual focus is satisfying the IRS and not satisfying your client, then you're never going to help them maximize their tax situation. It's kind of crazy. So, guys, those are the reasons why I say that you probably want to look into firing your tax preparer if they fall in any of those categories. Listen, guys, I know how things go. You know, everybody's not the best at everything. It's okay. But remember, you know, remember, and I want you guys to remember this. Remember, is that when you're actually out here, you know, you're paying taxes, you're keeping your documentation, you're doing everything that you have to do, you're solely responsible. So even if you have a tax preparer that does the administration side of things, you're still the person liable for the taxes. You're still the person that's going to have to pay the tax bill when it comes, and you're the person that's going to get audited if something were to happen. So make sure you keep everything above board. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if this video gave you some value, go ahead and drop the thumbs up, of course, if it gave you anything. And then, of course, you can always subscribe so you can stay up to date on new finance videos that were released. Just real upfront, loose, real, you know, fun finance videos. Let's stop making finance so technical. Let's have some fun with it. So this has been your boy James D. Anderson at IMJD Anderson on YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. You can holler at me on any of those platforms, and of course you can always comment below if you have any questions or if you got some video suggestions. So guys, until next time, this is your boy James D. Anderson. Everybody keep being great with your money, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.